1:15 that morning, 17th of November. My wife and I suddenly heard gunshots outside. I then managed to get hold of my neighbor, Mr. Noordin, who at that point said he didn't know whether it was a drug dealing gone bad. That changed immediately when I heard the shoutings by what we now know were policemen or soldiers or security forces anyway. And those shouts were, "Kom uit jou vark, vandag as jy vrek." There was no intention to come and arrest. There was an intention to kill. Obviously, it's history by now. That person inside that room was, in fact, Anton Fransch.
Anton was a guerrilla of a special type and a special caliber. You see, they knew who he was. The soldiers which came for Anton was not the normal soldiers. See, these were the special forces within the special branch as well, which came there. So they went in there in the big numbers, cutting off all the routes surrounding the battlefield itself. And Anton fought man alone amongst all of them, and he still proved to them, within an hour, you won't take me out. And I believe there were casualties. There were ambulances going up and down.
Basically, this is what happened to about 7:45 that morning. And at 7:45, there was a loud bang. And suddenly there was silence, complete silence. Later that morning, probably about 8 o'clock, 8:15, 8:30, another ambulance had pulled up and another body had been ferried out from that building.
Anton is my second youngest brother, and he attended Moderdam High. There he got involved with politics, and he was very aggressive towards politics.
I was attending Bonteville High, and Anne was attending modern school. So, and there was this feeling amongst the youth that we of change. We're tired of it. And this young guy, this bright kid called Ashley Krill, started to address us and tell us, we must start to resist the system, and we must start to boycott and do things. And then we formed SRCs on other schools as well. Now we were gaining momentum. And Anton was part of this whole process with us.
The cops came regularly to us to search the house. At one stage, the cops came in there in the middle of the night. My sister was in the bathroom. They actually wanted to go in there. So my mother stopped them. But we were regularly arrested.
Already at the first marches taking place, one day the cops came and they beat up this whole march. And the night we came together, we said we're going to come together, some of us. And we are going to build now, have our first petrol bomb. So that's how our thing started to develop within the Bonteville area.
One day, there was a picture of Anton on a police file. And they said he skipped the country. And he was actually sitting right next to me, you know. And I thought, gosh, you're sitting here. What's this all about, you know? And the next week, he asked me, Mark, can't you drop me somewhere? I actually, I agreed. I dropped him in observatory, you know. And that's the last time I actually saw him.
We are gathered here today as an oppressed people, in sadness and in pain, to put to rest yet another of our very own who have died in the cause of justice.
When I went to Angola in 1987, I found Anton there, busy with his basic training in full guerrilla warfare in the dark bushes of Angola, under bad conditions, with some no food, nothing. And then from there went to a place called Kakulama, where you specialize in politics. Now only after that you become a fully fledged guerrilla. A signal came through that myself and Anton must come to South Africa. So Anton's mission was basically to set up new cells and also to intensify the armed struggle within the Western Province.
The community, myself, my wife, I don't think anybody knew who Anton Fransch really was. My family anyway knew him, and Mr. Noordin knew him as David Governor, the UCT student.
2 years later, on my way to work, I heard a commotion about terrorists that's fighting with the cops. I got to work and I went on like an ordinary working guy. The media actually found me. They asked me questions about Anton. I thought, no, Anton's not here. I don't know where he is. They said, no, your brother got killed. Oh gosh, I got upset.
Anton never had any fear in him. Anton knew they were going to come because he was well prepared. If Anton surrendered, Anton would have been alive today like many other comrades. Anton made a choice as a guerrilla because that's the way we were trained as guerrillas and commanders, to give his life. He went into this battle consciously as a youth. Anton was about 20 years old. He went into this battle knowing there's no way at all that I am going to leave this house alive. These people are out to kill me, and I'm going to fight back. They're not going to kill me just like that. I'm not going to surrender to them. And even that's why amongst guerrillas we believe the last grenade, the last bullet you keep to yourself.
Me, my mother and sister, we went there to the house where it actually happened. The people of the house, they allowed us to go and have a look at the room. Gosh, what a shock. What upset me, his flesh was actually against the wall, They didn't even bother to clean it, And to actually experience that, it's hectic,
As we gather in Bondivo, which has, in truth, become a valley of martyrs, we gather in anger. We lift our fists and shake them defiantly this morning. We shake them defiantly against the idols of power and wealth, of racism and of exploitation. But we also raise our fists this morning in deep solidarity with Anton's family.
I'm so happy that I did come back and witness this funeral of a brave African man. As he lays there, I have my heart with him in the grave. Amanda!
You know the importance of remembrance of Anton and many other comrades, but especially Anton. If we go back to the battles which were fought before by our ancestors, it was heroic battles. If we go back to the battles of apartheid fought by guerrillas, where one guy ultimately faced this massive team of enemies and he fought them off 12 hours and more. Anton and these guys went down in the history of Mkondo as comrades who fought the most heroic battles under apartheid. A normal guy coming from a noble situation did extensive, extraordinary things for his society. He didn't think about himself, he didn't think of his family, he didn't think about his girlfriend, about his mother, about his brothers. He gave his life so the youth of today can ultimately be free.